Okay, there we go. There we go. Fix my mic. Good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT. Before you take the trade, my whole entire setup is completely different now. Actually, I did say I was going to fix that one issue. I want this down here. Save. All right, so that should be better. That way I can be looking at the camera. I want to say thank you for taking an opportunity to go ahead and enjoy with your boy one more time. I'm sorry about last week. Took a little time to myself as well, take care of some stuff for family. But we got a lot of work to do, so let's go ahead and get right on into the chart. All right, so right here we got my 8 grid. Let's go ahead and get this going. So much stuff happening. We got Fed cuts and all types of stuff happening. And Fed cuts usually mean bullish for the dollar. Bullish for the market, bearish for the dollar. So there's going to be a lot that we're going to uncompact here. So let's go ahead and get this party started. So the first thing I want to kind of break up is looking at gold. So gold is in a very interesting spot where it is. Like, I want to see gold really keep on like taking off. Of course, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the dollar and really probably it might affect us a little bit, right? And might cause a little bit of issues as far as like, are we in a recession or not in a recession, and the whole back and forth, whatever. But with gold picking up its strength the way it is, I like what the chart is showing me. I think there's going to be one more retracement. Again, I still have this one area like roughly around here, and then there's another one roughly around here on contract expirations that we've yet to kind of address. So if we do a fall, it's probably going to fall real violently as the dollar strengthens, if it ever happens. That's a big if. All right. So that is gold. You know what? That's why I did this a little wrong. So that was gold, but let's go ahead and go into NQ. NQ, it was inside of a wedge, and you can kind of see right there, it started breaking out of the wedge and pushing up to that upside. The way this chart is looking, it looks like we're going to get ourselves a W type of action, especially with the Stoke where it is. The only thing that's making me pause a little bit is that the MACD is under the zero line, and I don't think we really generated real momentum, and then we fell in contract expiration. I think without contract expiration, we probably would have stayed inside of the range of this wedge, but you know, the catalyst of the speculation of what the NQ is going to be in December is starting to take us outside of this continuous chart. If we go ahead and look at the 1 hour, you can kind of see we're very overheated, and if there's anything, it looks like a bearish divergence. But again, this is contract expiration. We're in quad witching. A lot of things can happen with quad witching. I don't want you to just jump to conclusions. Please plan accordingly. If it breaks key level supports or breaks out of certain areas of resistance and it looks questionable and it starts to like really eat up your profits, or you know, draw you down kind of deep, there's a possibility it's going to stay in that direction. Be smart, don't force anything, and you should be okay. All right, let's go ahead and keep this going. Let's go to oil. Oil, we dropped down, which is very fun. I like what happened with oil. We got into like the 60s. We're struggling to get back above the 70s, and I know some of these hedge funds and everything will not let this thing get too deep. If we go over to the weekly, you know, I kind of point this out. We've just been in this very annoying consolidation sideways, as high as $94, as low as like about 68, and we haven't really tested anything ever since that negative number that happened during the pandemic. So it's very interesting to see what oil is going to do. I'm looking at the level of $61 to be tested a little after the 65, but there is just no momentum to that downside. So this is where we are, and we're just going to have to take the chart that's presented in front of us. So let's keep this going. We got silver. Now, remember, I did tell you how silver is going to operate. Silver is going to put a lot of pressure on what gold is supposed to be doing. And if you look at the chart, silver is starting to go to that upper register, breaking out of here. Again, I like, you gotta have these in sync commodities, because if they're starting to show signs, that means they're probably doing it in the entire space. Silver was a little bit of a laggard of all this run up, and you could kind of see as we're starting to break through, We broke out of this level, it continued, and now we're in this upper register here. And the question is, do we start to pull back, or do we just go ahead and continue to that upside? I think we're on the top side of this uptrend. I want to see some good consolidation without it actually testing any of the fair value gap. And if it does, we're going to continue to that upside. Looking at the British pound is powering up. You could see that. Again, as the British pound is going up, it's breaking the dollar go down, which is going to mean this is in sync with market action. And you can kind of see we got ourselves a nice little uptrend. We made new highs. I want to see what they do with this high right here. I'm sorry, this higher low right here. Do we test it? Do we actually come up to this level? Do we follow a trend that's on that level? Very, very interesting spot for the British pound, and you could kind of see this is the level that they really want to try to recapture with this momentum up roughly around that 132. Oh, actually, I got my high right there. 132.70 is what they're looking for. So we'll see what happens there. Next is ES. Remember, I kind of explained ES. I was like, well, ES already filled its fair value gap. With us kicking up to this level on ES, I have a lot of questions because we did not hold well when it came down to the fair value gap. Is this just a contract expiration push up as people start to, you know, get out of their positions, reposition, and then they start to go back down, maybe liquidate back inside of that contract expiration gap? Maybe. We don't know. We're just going to take the charts that's presented in front of us. Right now, this thing looks very, very bullish, and we're probably going to go ahead and make some new highs on the ES. Now, let's go over to Russell. Russell, remember that order block. This same order block is the same one we're coming across here. We're getting that W action. This is going to be fun as a whole because, again, remember how I explained the Russell. The Russell is one of those that when they're taking money out of like ES, NQ, and all of them, the first thing they're throwing it in is inside of the Russell because it's our small caps, it's more domestic versus our international trades, right? Anticipating for a stronger dollar, right? So it looks like the Russell is getting some steam. If this thing breaks here, let me go ahead and chart this out for you. Roughly around here, this area here, if it can get through here with some momentum and take that high, I will not be surprised if it has an adverse effect on NQ and ES. All right, now the last one we're going to talk about is dollar. The dollar is inside of its order block, very, very wide order block. I think I plotted on the weekly. Yeah, I think I plotted this on the weekly. Very, very strong area of support that they would love to get to. And this is why pouring into the Russell at this point with the chart kind of showing it like this, it makes me curious. Could this be a catalyst that makes the dollar bounce as they start to liquidate on one side and then push back up? Some of y'all like the VIX, so I'm going to go ahead and use the VIX real quick to kind of point this out as well. We had a nice little downtrend from here, and it just had a nice little base here, and eventually it kind of did that explosion. That was that August 5th so-called glitch, right? But ironically, it reset a whole bunch of oscillators, and then we got ourselves a nice little push-up. Does this actually try to recapture some of this wick? They tried here, but then we created a nice little gap down last week, and to this week, we got ourselves a nice little gap up. So very, very interesting on what the VIX is doing right now. So just be smart and do not get reckless along the way. Let me make sure. Do I have my Think and Swim on? I don't think so. I think it's glitching on me. Bear with me. Let me just make sure I get that resolved, because I think that thing is frozen. Yeah, it's frozen. That's it right there. All right, let me go ahead and get the chart back. Here's my 8 grid. Yep, close program. There we go. Alrighty. Market's opening in a few seconds. Good luck, everyone. If you have not been on one of my floors, ooh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to let the people know that I am live. That's what happens when you haven't done a routine in so long. Oops, wrong thing. I need YouTube Studio, not YouTube TV. Oh, and thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you very much. I have reached 3,000 views. Oh man, it is so exciting that I got great people as my subscribers. I appreciate y'all. All right, boom, boom, boom. Grab the link. There it is. All right. We live. All right, so what I'm anticipating, if you haven't done one of my floors before, all I do 90% of the time, actually, I'm probably gonna, now that I got this space, let me adjust my lighting. I should be able to get my lighting a little bit better. Do it like that. Oh yeah, that's way better. That's way better. Um, I like open range breakouts. That is one of my that's my fave. That's what I operate on, and I build a lot of it off of the 15. Let me go ahead and grab my NQ. I'm an NQ trader overall, so let's go ahead and grab this 15-minute chart. Okay, they giving it a nice little push. Let me grab these lines, and I'm simple. I'm not asking for the charts to do anything real spectacular or anything. If it breaks below the range, I'm bearish. If it breaks above the range, I'm bullish. Just simple, simple, simple. All right? Keep it super simple and you make the money. That's all. Nothing spectacular. Let me make sure I got everything ready for my... Nope, don't need that. Nope, don't need that. Yep, need that. Oh, while we wait for that, pizza. You gotta love the Papa. So I've been sitting on this thing for a little minute. I'm very curious on what it does overall. The level that it struggled with was around this order block here, and we just popped right above it. We got a nice little gap, and it looks like we're going for some of this fair value gap. So it's probably going to top out roughly here. So now that it kind of made a new high here, what did I tell y'all in my trading class, folks? When it makes new highs, find a higher low that makes that high, and this is the higher low that created that high. So we're going to readjust that, and that is the trend that I wanted to follow. Now again, this is a very long-term type of trade in itself. I'm anticipating major moves on this one as we try to refill, maybe even this fair value gap and come into that 60 level. That would be great. Maybe come over to the 50 EMA on the weekly. That would be great as well. I've been in roughly around this area here, so if when looking for your entry, just make sure it's on the key level of support that it can give you a bounce. That is the most important part, but it is looking very nice. And I think there is just a little bit more meat in the bone, unless something very spectacular that comes out during their earnings that is coming out in December, I think. Nope, October. That's probably going to really take off. So I am probably going to hold on to this bad boy until like about October, roughly around that ballpark. And I'm looking forward to really get into that 68, 70 level. That will be great, and see where it goes from there. All right, actually, let me speculate something. Let me go to my analyze. Let's go to the lab real quick. Let me see what this would look like over time. So I'm anticipating that in October I should be a happy camper, and right now I'm sitting north of 100%. So let's get over to October 31st. And I'm thinking, let's just call it $60. Just $60. Yeah, I should generate a little more than 2 to maybe 3 times my money for that, and that would be a very good thing. So we'll see what happens there, and we'll continue on. All right, so let's go ahead and get back over to NQ. Oh, got a nice little rejection. Is it contract expiration? Are you going to go ahead and fill the contract expiration gap? So we kind of hit this top here around that. Let me start doing this accurate. Last time I did something like this, I was so upset because it did break out and I was being lazy about it. Let's go ahead and get the coordinates exactly right. I know the snapping. I know some people are saying use the snapping tool. There's times I want freelance. I want to get it, but anyways, that's just my preference. 19828.75 was our high here, and over here on our low, currently is still going. So we'll just put 19766.75 for right now, and let the thing just do its dance. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, last one traded for 127. Oh, that was great. Hold on to this Papa. Oh, while we wait for this thing, let's go ahead and adjust that. While we wait for this one, another one I'm looking at is Biogen. Biogen had a nice little run. I like what it's doing on the chart, and it looks like it's trying to make more highs. Now, here's something I want to point out on Biogen in itself. On the weekly, we're still in a bearish state, so this thing can reverse and then just make some new lows. But I think, and this is just my opinion, might be completely wrong, but I think this is the order block that they're testing right now, roughly around 190 to as much as 195. If it can hold this support, I probably could go ahead and play this up inside of the 206. I would love for it to get into this toppy area where it got real deep into the order block. So we're talking about 220 to 230 to 240, somewhere around there. Last time it came to this level, we had a nice little bounce here, and this thing shot up to like 320. So we'll see if it can repeat itself again. But you know, we take the cards that are dealt. You know, slowly, but surely. Well, that's interesting. Really. I'm watching the option chain on one of my positions, and it's like toying around a little bit. And I'm looking at the mark change. That means they're filling these orders at some weird prices. I think they just dropped the price just so that way they can fill these orders. Let's do today. Very interesting. And it's volatile. This is the market being the market. All right, but yeah, so I love Biogen where it is right now. If this thing holds support roughly around 200 and then break above that psychological level of 200, this thing could probably really print, and that's what I'm kind of banking on. Let me get this out the way. That was not supposed to pop up. Alrighty, gonna have to block that out. I thought I put this down here. Okay. But yeah, so you know, 9 times out of 10, this is my take, right? With Biogen, if we're talking about a, I don't know, let's say 25% move off that top area, and it just does a nice little push up. That could be a nice little swing, real solid swing. There we go. It's getting above that 200. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna activate that idea. I think I'm gonna get that now before I forget. And the reason why I don't want to miss out on this ride, and it looks like we're at the 200 level now, so I kind of like that. This is something that it's probably going to require some time, so you could kind of see when this thing popped up, we're talking about deep consolidation, assuming that the consolidation is not over yet, right? So you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks alone, and then it popped. So you're talking about 6 weeks, and then riding it out to the top here. So you're talking about maybe another 6 to 7 weeks. So that's 13 plus maybe a little bit of a buffer. So 20 weeks, 25. You know, just be smart with it. Let me see what the open interest over here in April. Not really. It seems like maybe it looks like October 18th. That one's one. That kind of looks good. October 25 is weak sauce, and November is weak sauce. I think those are probably brand new contracts. And then there's January. January looks kind of interesting as well. So let's go ahead and get ourselves ready for what I think could be the action. Let's see. It's almost that 15 minutes into the market. Bear with me. I'm just going to give myself a nice little position here. Oh, there is very little volume though. Yeah, this thing is probably going to be a little tricky, but if it did do its job, this thing will print itself. I don't like the volume. And January 2025. Oh, a deep investor over there. Yeah, I think I am gonna go with January. Let me see what October is though. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go January and just find a spot. And just trade it there. We're torn at 190, 199.85. I want to see 200. And then 200. A good target would be around that 270 area. Interesting bid ask. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go there or there. Let's go with this one. See what this one's looking like. Okay. And then this one, 44. Let me see. Do they pay dividends? I don't think they pay dividends. Okay, it doesn't pay dividends. So let me make sure that. That is interesting. There's that. And that's what I don't want to do. How much time we have? We got like 2 more minutes into the 15 minutes. Let me go ahead and pull up NQ for y'all here while I decide on this option contract. Now, remember, as we do that, right, we also wait for the first 5 minutes to close. Now, this trading floor, I'm going to do something a little different. I've created my first pilot, still beta tested it. Shout out to my beta testers and those that are signing up. Of my indicator, a very, very simple, nothing too spectacular. I hate colors on my screen, and that's saying a lot coming from where I started as a trader. But I try to minimize as much of my screen as possible. So I'm going to be keying off on some of those that pops up here and there. And if it shows me an entry, I'm probably going to take that from a short swing scalp to a short swing, and I'll explain it along the way as well. I need something that's with a healthy bid ask. Like this one is a terrible bid ask. Let's see how. Almost like it's almost like they're doing a lot on the put verticals there. All right, I'll probably post on YouTube community which one I choose. I'm gonna have to make a decision on that one, and That's going to be probably outside the box on that one. All right, so we've established our first 15 minutes. Looks like we had some wild swings in the beginning. Had a nice little push up, and they brought it all the way back down. We built our base, and right now, we probably could turn bullish. I think we could probably get there one more push up to that upside. I'm probably going to short scalp. Maybe let me go on that NQ for that one. I'm gonna do it on a shorter, low leverage. Let me get my drawings. Okay, that's fine. I'll leave it there. Just kind of talk y'all through my thought process on a short scalp, because we're probably gonna get something in the next couple of minutes or so, as we're trying to build a nice little base here and see if they can take out that top. Okay, so I might get something in the near minute or so. Let's see what happens. And probably here, yeah. So I'm thinking of something like this. Nice little bounce here. See if we can get a little bit of a pop. Just trying to build it up. Alright, cool. I just wanted to get a quick little 20. Let's lock that in. Boom. Finish me with 15. Now, this thing can go all the way to the top of the range, but again, I don't like ranges. So I take my money when I see it, and I was aiming for 20 ticks. If that is how you operate, just take your money and go. Take your money and go. Alright, a little bit more of a pop. It was coming to an order block that I noticed. Alright, they're trying to reestablish again. Probably could took it for the second time right off that bounce. But that 19,800 level will be a tough little area for us to really stay on that top side of it. We've rejected that before, made some lower lows. Let's see how the market treats it. Oh man, I'll tell you, this chart looks so good on Biogen, but this option chain is just terrible. It might be better on shares. Yep, you see, now they're coming back to the bottom of the range. It looked like they were going to take out 19,800. What we will be looking for, we're looking for a close below, and make sure I got my level right this time. Just double click that. All right, our low is 19,757 on the dot. That is what we're looking for, close below there. So we'll be bullish above 19,828.75, and we'll be bearish at 19,757. So let's see. Oh, and that is some bearish momentum. Ooh, what a drop. I don't know if I can wait the 5 minutes. That's a brand new 5-minute chart. Let's see if they pick this back up. Ooh, that is a lot of momentum. All right, let's see what the craziness looks like over in the options chain. I'm so out of rhythm. I don't even have the option chain prepared. Normally I have everything set and I have a little price and all. So that's what happens when you take a week off. Let's see. Oh, is that the price? No, okay. Ooh, I'm looking at Fridays. I was like, wait a minute, that's a little juiced. All right, let's see. I think. Oh, we officially closed below it. I think we're gonna go with uh, 470s. I think we're gonna go 470s. Yeah, probably 470s. Let's go ahead and save that right there. 470 puts. 470 puts. If we get closer to that top side, I'll give it a go on seeing if there's anything up there that we could probably hold on to. All right, save the order. We'll get a few seconds to see how the market's going to react to all of this. All right. Looks like we got a nice little rejection. Let's go ahead and send that off. I'm thinking we got a nice little rejection off this wick. We'll see what happens there. Let's see if we can make some lower lows along the lines. If we can get a solid break below and some breakouts. That's the funny thing about contract expirations. So I did lighten up my leverage a little bit, just to kind of see what the market has, versus going with the entirety of the of my position, because this can do some funky stuff, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. Quad witching can be really, really, really funny. Alright, come on. Let's see if we can get that. Alright, cool, cool, cool. I have a target roughly around 19709. That's where I would love for this to kind of get to. We'll see if that actually pans out. I'm currently at, let me get my P&L up. Oh, hit my target. That's a 20%. That was fast. Oh my god. I can't get it off fast enough. Damn. That sucks. That sucks. Get there. I'm over here trying to plot out the target. All right, we'll call it a day. It is what it is. I got like 70 ticks on futures. Then I have it kind of fast. Oh man, I did not get all of that muscle that I was looking for. I think there is still more downside, but probably gonna hold on to it on the future side and just let it do its job there. But that was a nice little pop. It got to 20%, and then it just did its own thing. I'm gonna hold on to these two and see if this thing can sweep some lower points. But that what my target was, roughly around 1970.11, and that thing springboard. Oh, this thing might be a jerk about it, and this might be a jerk. That might be what they were looking for from the Bulls' perspective to push this thing right back up. Not cute, not cute at all. Let's see if the Bears can step in. Oh, that was a good trade. That was a good. If you actually took that one, I think you should be a happy camper. It was a nice drop. That's the when the opener range breakout breaks out, it tends to like really break out. This thing is gonna toy with it. All right, let me just go ahead and cut that. And I gave it a little shot. I gave it a shot, but it looks like no new bears has stepped into the plate. And you could kind of see with this 5 minute, that was a nice little wig. I don't think we really hit an order block. Yeah, not really. We kind of got to like a fair value gap left on this 5 minute, 15 minute. Not even the whole thing. Here would have been probably the better spot for them to bounce it. So I won't be surprised if there's more downside. The Bears are just looking for them to kind of push this thing up. The 1 hour, we got like 3 minutes left, so we could probably get a nice little reversal in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and focus on a nice little scalp. Gotta be they're like, ooh, you gotta be quicker than that. I guess I should have put a target by it. I thought it was gonna be like one of those and just walk its way down. That thing went bang bang, So you can't dictate what the market is going to do. But yeah, it looked like it was about to trigger one of my alerts on the 1 hour. I'm going to find a spot and then kind of point out what I'm looking for in itself. We're probably going to stay under 750. 750 is a psychological level just like 700 and 800. And I think they're going to probably toy with that. The 1 hour just made a lower low, so I could see them probably want to come back and get the rest of this fair value gap that's left. It just depends. Is there enough bears up here to put that momentum on it? Yeah. Well, it's quad witching. That's what happens. People are changing up their positions right now. So if you were short all year, now you start to get bullish. If you were bullish all year, now you start to get bearish. You know what I'm saying? To kind of take your money off the table. That's how it kind of works out. And if you find something that makes sense, you jump back in. That's going to be probably like that Thursday, Friday. And plus, Jay Powell got to say what they got to say about the interest rate. I think that is Wednesday. Hold on. Let me make sure I say the right thing. Don't want to lead y'all astray. British pound's going to have their PPI, inflation, and everything tonight. So if you for my London session, folks, you're probably gonna be happy about that. And then housing permits, oil, and Fed rate decision. Yeah, so 2 o'clock tomorrow is where the magic's gonna happen. So I won't be. Oh, we're back above that 350. Oh, they played it right back up. That's probably what they're looking for. We're gonna do this zigzag consolidation. I don't know what we want to do type of action, and then when it finally picks a direction, we go from there. Good drop. That was a good drop. If I was able to, I had like 20 contracts on that thing. If I could have just snatched all of it. Let me see where it peaked out to. I got out at 45, which was a break even on my re-entry. That sucked. Let's see, which contract was that? It's not 26 cents, so it's even lower than the one before. Let's see what the chart had. Look how fast it happened. It all happened within the minute, right here at 9:55-ish. And it got up to 49. I was really looking for it to kind of explode to like 50 or 70, and I think it could have done that, but the momentum was just too strong for them to kind of reaccumulate everything here. All right, we're back inside of the 15-minute orb on the 15-minute. That is not a really good sign for anything more to the downside, so I could see more upside coming up. I just got one of my alerts on Tesla. Let's go check out Tesla, because that's one of the things I'm going to be doing my video on later on today. Tesla looks like it's starting to drain itself a little bit. I think they probably ran too much. Let's see. Daily. We got a nice little gap here. That was a good gap. I think the gap is the catalyst to get us above this MACD and really hold. Let's see if that really does that job. Let's see what the weekly has. Kind of weak sauce. Let's see if we can get into this fair value gap up to 236. So Tesla's probably on its uptrend. We did 2 weeks of this. Just about 2-3 weeks of this. So let's see if they can fill this in all the way to 237. Tesla to 237. Very, very possible with the momentum that's here and the push up that Qs are putting on it as well. Let's get back over to NQ. Let's see the 5 minute. Yeah, we closed inside of that range. And before I go bearish again, I need to see it close below that range. That was a good drop. That was a really, really, really good drop. I was trying to hold on to that futures one kind of hard, so finished break even on it, but I'd rather give it a shot because I really thought we was going to get like a nice little 2, maybe 300 as we try to get to this gap, the contract gap. I think that's going to be the play. But we'll see. 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Why wrap this up roughly around, let's aim for that 10:15 on the dot. Because I think we did take a nice solid trade. The 5 minute kind of is trying to push itself down. That one in a nice little. Let me find a spot. I like to do 5:15, maybe 15 will give me something. The 1 hour almost gave me something. But we gotta give ourselves a nice little bounce here. Let me see if the 5 minute give me another one of these. Liquidating the bears. Came and got the rest of this fair value gap. Let's see if we can reject the 50. Struggling to reject the 50. But that was even with the new 5 minute that happened at 10 o'clock. That was a good drop here, about 70 ticks as we try to stay outside the opening range. Probably could have played that, but we was looking at Tesla at the time. Sorry, I got some work that just texted me just now. Ooh, woo. Love it when, money just popped out of nowhere. It just comes in the atmosphere. Won't he do it? All right. Got a nice little push. We got 57 seconds. Can they get back above the orb and push all the way back up to the top of it and bring us all the way back to the 800s? Very possible. The 5 minute is really looking like that, that staggered stair step all the way here. But is there bears anywhere located here? Oh, we might get one of these little setups. All right, so when this closes, I am going to look, and again, this one's probably going to be a little shaky, but I'm going to do it on paper. And you know what, I'm not going to even, because I know it's going to be probably short counter trend. Let's go, boom, let's go with 4 contracts, just to kind of see how that plays out. And what I want to see is the 1 minute start to, give it a little bit of a sense of retracement. Like this is me playing the opposite. So not that one. That's a nice little pullback. But I wanted to already start this dance, something like this, and that's just the beginning of it. Do not take out this high. And we'll see what happens. And for fun, you know what? I'll even do at the money at the same time. whatever. It's like, oh, is that 140? Or it's like 20 bucks of it. Alright, so it's trying to take over. So now it's probably going to do something like, maybe not. Let's see if it rejects no new highs. That's kind of bullish. I don't like that. They matching highs. 75, 75. Yeah, they're matching the highs. Alright, so I'm gonna sell. Oh, I'm a little late to it. Come on, get there, get there. Alright, so I'm looking for something like that. And boom, and boom. Let's see if it gives me that play. Because it look like we're kind of topping here. Now the bulls are going to get a nice little impact move. If this doesn't hold the support. Okay, there we go. Almost took out that low. Almost. Let's see if we can get it. Because my anticipation is after this run up and now we're back inside of the range, I'm looking for some profit taking to happen. And then they find some type of support. Maybe come back to this 50. And then after that, then they try to make the run back up. But it looks like the bears are struggling to control it. And I'm looking for this to be the start of the downtrend. Oh, they might come liquidate all the bears. Oh, there we go. All right, so I lost 10% on that. Let's go ahead and close this out. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, whoa, whoa. You're going to hammer all the way down? I dare you to give me a lower low. Oh, I went from 10% down to 10%. Oh, let's go. If this thing gives me break even, I'm going to just close it out because this is not the trade. I don't want it to make any higher highs along the way. Let's see. Almost got to that psychological level. Oh, no, they did and then rejected. They're trying to get past it. And since it made that higher high, I am out of it. And no harm, no foul. So they're probably looking for something a little bit higher. And that's pretty much it. Very well. I like this for you to play that, you gotta have like a wide stop, right? Because the volatility is like really like some heavy zigzags. Yes, exactly. Just imagine trying to survive this wick. Let's just say you took this pivot here. You're talking about a 77 tick stop loss. That's tough. That is really tough. So you could see, not only did we fail to liquidate the bulls, right? We put it in a 5-minute fair value gap, and if it continues, this could be the catalyst just to continue to get us into that upside. Maybe we'll play the orb if this happens before 10:15. A nice break with the 5-minute above 19.82875. We'll take it up. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's showing weakness. Ooh, let's see if we get another shot at this. So right now I'm looking at this level here. I'm looking for this to kind of start the dance. Plus, we got ourselves a little bit, and mind you, because I use the 5 minutes, so this is more scalpy than a swing. So I'm literally trying to target back to the 50 EMA. That's all I'm doing. If it blasts through, it'll be great. But a nice little 800 range rejection here with a lower high, I think this will be a good catalyst. Actually, it's starting to look towards that direction. Let's see. Got 2 seconds. All right, let's just go ahead and step into this. Let's see what happens. Now, they could go ahead and liquidate the bears one more time. I remember I did a chart last week as all this volatility was happening. Every time on the 5-minute, it looked like this, and then it looked like this, and then out of nowhere, bulls liquidated. Bulls liquidated. It was like really disrespectful. They was not respecting the bears at all. But right now, looks like the bears have this kind of pivot. I want to at least be in for 60 seconds. It's struggling. New bulls probably stepped into the plate. If they liquidate this pivot, that pivot is shot. That's the 800 level. They want it. They think they got it. That's the pivot. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. Alright, looking for rejection. You've rejected here before. That's a strong candle there, engulfing this previous. So unless something major happens, this thing is really going to get into that area. But I am playing this because we are showing sense of weakness to a certain degree. MACD is pointing up, but this thing could, yep. No pullbacks. They're not going to give you an opportunity to get in. You got to catch the bottoms on this this push up for NQ. Equal highs. Let's get out of there. Deuces. So we gave it 2 shots. I like to give 2 shots on some of these, but what I'm looking for is something along the lines of this one. You have a nice little push to the downside, build yourself a nice little base, and get some bullish momentum. Likewise here. So that's what I was looking for on the bearish side, but looks like the bulls are in control. The bulls are back in town. All right, what we got? We got like 4 minutes left. We gave it a couple shots. I'm still up about 2% of my portfolio. No, actually, we're inside of the open and range breakout. So I was actually playing the reversal. It might give it this time. Look at that. That's a tiny candle. Look like they're struggling with this level here. But we'll see. I want to play this. If we can get up here in the next 3 minutes, I'll play the open and range breakout to the upside. There we go, getting that push. Now, I know some. I think exactly that, and that's why that second one, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna really stay in this. Even if it was, you could kind of see it was like equal highs. I was like, nah, you ain't even supposed to be doing no equal highs. This is supposed to be volatility. Give me the volatility I need. But yeah, we're in that upper register of it, and you could kind of see they're really trying to get themselves up there. That's a strong rejection though, roughly around that 818. Let me see what it was there. Bit of a block here. Oh, now that was the candle I was looking for about 70-90 seconds ago. That's what I was looking for. Come back to the 50 EMA, play it there. Now we probably get ourselves a nice little bounce and push back up. So that's generally what I'm looking for. So in this case, for 1 hour, when we started kind of like really do this dump action, I thought I was going to wait for the new 1 hour, then push up, but they wicked this really hard to the upside. So I didn't find a really good opportunity there. Nothing there. 4 hour, nothing there. This weekly, and we're about to get a nice little W. That's why they probably don't want this open and range breakout to happen. So we'll see what happens there. Back to the 5 minute. Let's see. That's an interesting candle right here on the 5 minute after making such a massive move to the upside. Kind of like that megaphone type of pattern where you get price action doing this and doing this. Not the best. You get higher highs and you get lower lows in the same candle. That's usually not a good sign. Market tends to sit out and wait. Could be a doji reversal. Let's see what the woman is saying. Yeah, a little bit of a curl down here. If we can't get this recaptured, probably something along the lines, oh, we're already starting to, something like that. This is your support. Maybe a nice little break here, come back and retest that 50 EMA. We might fall right through it. Interesting spot. Interesting spot. Let me see what this shows me here. I almost want to wait till the 5 minute closes and then it starts to give me a bearish trend in itself. All right, we'll probably call it 10 20. Let's see what this next 5 minute does, because this could give us either the pop or the drop, because this is a nice little sideways consolidation, especially with that wide spread right here that I didn't like too much. I think there's some indecision there, so be careful on your positioning. They really are trying to capture that 800. If we can get a close above that 800 with the 5 minute, probably get ourselves a nice little push up. Now, I know for those that really follow me, I don't really try to break down the inside ranges, and I don't like to play inside ranges either. And you can kind of see those last two trades. We got some massive moves, and if we're in the range, we should be coming right back down, depending on where the key level of support or resistance is. In this case, was resistance. But it looks like they're really trying to capture that 800 level. Don't try to stop the freight train with your two hands. No, don't do that. We're going in that direction. That was actually still a green candle, even though it made higher highs and lower lows. So this can stay bullish, but it does have to do some things before I can really consider going bearish. It's trying. We're making a higher low again if this thing doesn't liquidate the bulls here, as they try to stay above 800. I like the wicks on the bottom of the 1 minute for more upside though. It's like they keep buying up dips. Nice little pullback and then take off. All right, that could be our push. Get up in here so we can have a trade before I get out of here. Now, if you like ranges, you probably play right in. Yeah. And that's the funny thing about it, right? Because the previous week's high is going to play a major point into this run up, because last week I feel like we kind of pushed up on low volume, and it makes me think that it probably contract expiration reasons we did that, but we'll see. I might be wrong. Quad witching can do anything that it wants. Alright, giving it like 60 seconds more just to kind of see where this goes. But we're going to wrap it up at 10:20. That way I can give you the rest of your day. Like I said, tickers like Biogen, another couple I'm looking at, Mara. Oracle did a massive move to the upside, and they're a great company. I did in one of my videos. It came up in my bearish report, and I was like, nah, this is not something that you go bearish on. It's the one that you kind of like really like hold on tight to. So I'm very curious on where Oracle goes from here. Probably get ourselves a nice little push more to the upside on that one. Other than that, yeah, I think that's it. So Oracle, Biogen, you could probably toss Tesla in there, and of course, good old NQ. Oh, and then my pizza position. Can't go wrong with pizza. I like where it's going, and I want to see more of that upside. That said, I bid you a fond farewell. Let me go ahead and let y'all have the rest of your day. Thank you for chiming in. Again, I will be back tomorrow at 9:15. Oh, actually, let me take that back. Tomorrow is going to be on the road, so it's not going to be all nice and glamorous like that. Then I get back here Thursday, and we're back on my desk again. That said, bid you a fond farewell. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see y'all on tomorrow, 9:15. Later, y'all.